Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is that you are listening, folks. Thank you very, very much for listening. Today is the 13th of January, year of our Lord 2020-25. Welcome to yet another edition of the Coping Hour, hosted by Nicholas Hinkle, a.k.a. Moton Noah. Got a big show for you guys today. Get your week started off right. Guys, have a good weekend. Snowed for the first half of today here in Chicago. And I said to Maddie while it was snowing, there's it's accumulated on the ground, right? And I said to her, I was like, it's about the second or third time it snowed in the last couple of weeks here. And I was like, I actually don't mind this. It's kind of nice to have like a season. It's kind of nice for it's January. We're in the Midwest. We're in Chicago. We're in Illinois. And there's actually snow on the ground. That's nice. But what I will say is the Midwest in January is maybe the worst. Sure, it's the same way on the East Coast, but it's different in the Midwest, man. Life is just different here. Such a hopeless month. It's just so dark all the time. Gray. But there's snow on the ground, which is nice. And so we go to the grocery store and, we go down to the car. We get everybody loaded up. And I go to brush the car off, right? Get all this snow out of here. I realize that it's perfect packing snow. And so I'm going to clean off the hood, but I'm just packing up the snow and throwing snowballs at a brick wall and shit. I'm going crazy. I also had to do the thing that I always do when it's the first true snow that I get to go out and be a part of. I always have to eat snow. Love eating snow. And so I did a little bit of that, ate a little bit of snow, threw some snowballs, ate a little bit of snow, threw some more snowballs. Maddie's like, get the fuck in the car. We don't have that much time to go. Get the fuck in the car. My bad. You're right. Let me get one more snowball off. Let me eat one more little thing of snow. And then, all right, I get in the car. We go to the grocery store. No major notes. It's pretty much been the whole day today. Watched a lot of football this weekend. Could do a little bit of a football recap between the college football playoff and the NFL wildcard weekend. The college football playoff, yeah. Notre Dame and Ohio State playing for a national championship. Fuck. That's insane. But it would have been worse if it was Penn State. Just on principle of it's Penn State and James Franklin is playing for a national. That cannot happen. That has to be the funniest piece of this whole thing. Is that Penn State actually won big games in a tournament, in a playoff setting. Games that matter. Home field, neutral site, they won games. And people will continue to say the same shit about them. And people will continue to say the same stuff about James Franklin that they have said for the last, how long has he been there? It's been a while. That's pretty funny. On the flip side of things, Quinn Ewers is done. Whoa. Probably going to the draft. Has he officially declared yet? I don't think I saw that. But the verbiage on it before the game was, this is it for him. His fucking representation, I guess, was yeah, this is probably it for Quinn Ewers. Which is good, especially in this household. We talked a little bit about it in the last batch of games that we had in the college football playoff. The whole game, Matt is just where the fuck is Arch Manning? He got to come in the game for 1 4th down. A really cool play where Texas motions, I think, a tight end under center. Arch is still in shotgun. They snap it through the tight end's legs, who is under center, to Arch Manning. Just just nice little QB power off the edge. And he picks up, 10 and change, something. Picks up the first down. It's a really, really cool play. Pretty sure that was the only time that we saw Arch Manning the whole time. So Maddie was furious. Even I was kind of throw him in a little bit. Offense kind of hasn't been able to catch a rhythm. Would be funny if you threw him in this game. They didn't. Ohio State, 86 yards? Fumble recovery for a touchdown to ice that game? Yeah. Quite the rocket that Ohio State has been on. And for everything that we've said, or that we even won't say about James Franklin, narratively, what does it look like for Ryan Day if he wins a national championship? That's interesting. I don't even know. I'm genuinely asking, because I can't even, I can ask the question. I don't think I can even give you 5 minutes of riffing on this. I have no idea. Because I think all of us, I don't want to speak for all of us. I know that I'm watching Ohio State not just win these games, but dominate in them. They killed Tennessee. They killed Oregon. The score may not have indicated this. They handled their business against Texas. That Michigan game broke our brains, I guess. Because it's a complete, I don't want to say it's night and day and do the whole pun thing. What happens if Ohio State actually does this? That's going to be interesting to see. I think largely, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about this after the championship actually happens. But just to get my pre-take out there, I think it goes without saying that the college football playoff has been an absolute success. And again, I say again, I didn't say this yet today, but I've said this 100 times in the last couple of weeks. If you're new around here, we acknowledge that the first batch of games that we got, that first weekend of games, was not very good. The first weekend of any playoffs in any sport, first series rather, if it's a 7-game series, it's not good. The first round of a playoffs is very famously not good in any sport unless it's March Madness, right? But the atmospheres have reflected the big games that we have been hoping for, and that's kind of what at least I look for. And I think that the best teams have gotten I think it is Ohio State, and I think it is Notre Dame right now. Those have been the two best teams the most consistently. And what you have to give credit to Notre Dame for is that they have become, dare I say, likable. Are we there yet? Shout out to Ice Cube. Are we there yet with Notre Dame? Is likable the word? Because I grew up with, what was his name? Charlie Weiss as Notre Dame's coach. That guy was a fucking asshole. Guy was the worst. And to me, growing up, being conditioned to hate Notre Dame, he embodied that. Brian Kelly, I mean, if Charlie Weiss was the quintessential embodiment of what I thought it meant to be a Notre Dame coach, I don't even know what that makes Brian Kelly, but that was a perfect marriage, right? The asshole of all assholes in college football is the head coach of the fucking worst team that you're supposed to hate, even if you never play them. Even if you're Texas and you never have to play Notre Dame. If you know what I mean? You're Florida Atlantic. You still hate Notre Dame. You just do. But then Marcus Freeman shows up and I don't know. They're just cool. No. I don't mean that they're cool. I don't mean he's cool. Marcus Freeman, cool guy. Pat McAfee, I may not have been able to watch a ton of college football this year. I watched Game Day every weekend. I watched the full 3-hour broadcast of Game Day. It was at least on in the background every single weekend. And any time that Marcus Freeman had anything to do with the show this season, Pat McAfee would tell him how awesome his hairline was. Was he right? Is he right? Present tense. Yes. Yeah. Unequivocally, he's right. But chill out. Don't make this guy human to me. He's Notre Dame's football coach. Damn it. He's a cool guy. Riley Leonard, awesome story. Audric Estime, I know he's not there this season. He's playing for Denver now, I think, the Broncos. I loved him. I thought he was incredible. Who's the running back that was wearing the knee brace? That had that run. Jeremiah Love? Is that his name? Freak. Sicko. Damn it. This Notre Dame team. I don't hate him. I don't hate him as much as I would have in years past, and I think a lot of that has to do with Marcus Freeman. NFL Wild Card Weekend. Folks, we're taping this in the middle of Tampa Bay, Washington. We're in the middle of the first quarter right now. 3-0 Tampa Bay. We're in the booth right now with Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. So you want to talk about first rounds of playoffs and how they're usually not that great. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Houston and the Chargers. Whoa! Fuck! starting this wild card weekend off with a bang. I don't know if there's a game that I could have given less of a shit about. Who cared about that game, honestly? Until it was played, and then Houston was like, we're winning? Like, we're going to kill the Chargers. That shocked me. It's like the one game that I was like, this is chalk. The Chargers are going to... No. Justin Herbert throws 3 interceptions all season. Goes like, I don't even... What was the stat? 300 consecutive pass attempts without throwing an interception. And then he throws 4. He got picked off by the Texans 4 times. Now, what we always say, not all interceptions are created equally. That is true. Couple of them, not Justin Herbert's fault at all. Like one of them straight up hit his receiver's hands. Perfect ball. Just bounced off of his hands and went into the DB. And then I think that was a pick 6 is what it ended up being. That's not Herbert's fault, but it did still happen. So Herbert throws 4 picks against the Texans. CJ Stroud wins a playoff game. Herbert throws 4 picks, they lose. Jared Goff threw 5 against the Texans, and they won. So, if Justin Herbert had thrown 1 more interception, would the Chargers have had enough juice to then come back in this game? I think that's something that if you're like a Jim Harbaugh type character, you have to look back on in the offseason, reflect on, get in the film room with Justin Herbert. If you had just thrown 1 more, little tip ball at the line, it falls into Will Anderson's hands. Maybe he takes it back to the 10. Just something, right? 1 more. It's too bad for the Chargers. It's almost even worse that the Texans... I know that, look, there are a lot of Texans fans that listen to the show. I don't actually... I don't have a problem with the fact that they won. I'm just shocked that they did. And I'm also just kind of... I mean, it's cool. It's cool for CJ Stroud. It's cool for D'Amico Ryans, too. That's pretty cool. Who else is it cool for? I don't have a problem with Nico Collins. I just don't care about them. The Texans. I just don't care about them. I could be an asshole and be like, well, have fun being fucking food for Kansas City. Who cares? Go out and play a hard game, play competitive, and all you can do. You won a playoff game. That's awesome. I just, again, cannot believe that it actually happened. Most of these games have been fucking bad. Like I said, it's still beginning of the second quarter, 3-0 Tampa Bay. This, for all intents and purposes, is the one game that I'm like, please be a game. I think this actually has the trappings of like a real game, right? By the time you're listening to this, you'll know how it went. If Washington wins this game, that is who is playing Detroit next Sunday or Saturday. I don't actually know what day we're going to be playing. Well, wait, look, it's showing it up on the... Oh, but it doesn't say which matchups are which. Okay, all right, Nick, stay back on the show. Most of the games have been like the road team, because all the highest seeds have been winning. The road team kind of like maybe down 2 scores with a quarter to go is like making a little bit of noise, and then fumble or an interception or just like 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. They just never actually stay in the game. Oh, okay. I think this game's going to be different, but again, I don't want to keep talking about a fucking game that hasn't even actually happened yet for me, but by the time you listen, you know what I mean? I don't want to do predictions. Shut up, Nick. Just keep doing the rest of the thing. Rams game got moved to Arizona because of all the wildfires. I'm fascinated to know what that is. The day you're listening to this, what is that going to look like? Rams game gets moved from SoFi in Los Angeles to Arizona, where the Cardinals play, because of the wildfires ravishing western Los Angeles. So does that mean this is going to be like more of like an NBA Cup style game where most of the fans there, I imagine there are going to be a pretty good deal of fair weather fans there. I think. No, man, that's interesting. Because if you, let's say, you know, whatever city you live in, if you have an NFL team near you, whatever state you're in, if that's a stadium in your vicinity had a playoff game being played there for some natural disaster, whatever, it has to be moved to an alternate site, and it's in your backyard. Are you paying to go see that just because, like, oh, it's a playoff NFL game? If I go out my back door, it's right there. How much am I willing to... We live right by Soldier Field where the Bears play, right? I'm trying to think. If the Bears neutral site game, it's the Colts and the fucking the Jags or whoever, right? And it's supposed to be in Lucas Oil Stadium. The roof collapses. They move it to Soldier Field. I'm probably not paying more than $50 to go to that game. And I'm not going to get to go because it's a playoff game. So I think I answered my own question. Well, at least I wouldn't do it. That doesn't move the needle for me. Almost went to a playoff game. Happened to be in Indianapolis. 15 years ago, maybe. It was Colts Jets for a playoff game. Again, in Indy. Almost went to that game. Tickets were like $600. And this is like 2010 style money. $600 in 2010. I could pull up an inflation calculator. That's a whole damn different thing. One time, so we went through this phase of watching the oldest Price is Right episodes that we could possibly find. And we ended up finding like the test screenings of them. Like not screenings, but like the tests that they would do with like not Bob Barker. This is like mid 60s. And it was just some fucking guy. The show was completely different. It was in black and white. It was in Technicolor. Fucking didn't exist yet. And it was a completely different show. But there was a moment where they are putting a television up for bidding. And when they ended up saying what the price of it was, we did in the inflation calculator. Dog, it was like a fucking $40,000 TV. You're putting a down payment on $1 million home. They'd probably be a little bit cheaper than on a $500,000 home for a fucking color television that has 3 channels? What are you watching on TV in the 60s? CBS? Okay. Was MASH out yet? Maybe that was out. What the hell was on TV in the 60s that you had single-digit channels? On one hand, I could count how many. You're spending the equivalent of $40,000 on a TV. And they wouldn't have even have had the Zapruder film. Let's say you're watching it it's in late stage 1963. You're in November. Who was it that said, was it Walter Cronkite? Who said that JFK was dead? I'm thinking of a very specific broadcast. It's not like they had the damn Zapruder film. You wouldn't have been able to watch that on your fucking 8-bit TV. What are you doing spending $40,000 on a fucking TV? NFL playoffs, folks. That's what we were talking about. I'm sort of just been checked out of it because the games have been so bad. People were like, oh, the Broncos and the Bills. That's going to be a good game right there. Bo Nix, don't sleep on these Broncos. First time being in the NFL playoffs since they won a Super Bowl 10 years ago with Peyton Manning. Now Bo Nix leading the charge in the playoffs. 10 games that they won this season. No. Damn it. Not really, damn it. I didn't really want... What a juxtaposition that I was in when, okay, Bo Nix is playing Josh Allen in the fucking playoffs. So it's like my true love or just the guy that I love to watch every single week in Josh Allen. Broncos come out. Bam! Bang! Imagine that. Mike Breen pulls the rug on us and he switches from bang to bam and acts like it didn't happen. Bam! Could you imagine that? That'd be fucking funny. His catchphrase is just a completely different thing. He never acknowledges it. It's just what he does now. He just puts bang in the rafters, and the last time that you heard it, you didn't realize it was going to be the last time that you heard it. Try that one on for size. Nah, Broncos got smacked. It was close until it wasn't, you know. I think Will Lutz doinking to go into halftime. That was kind of the, okay, all right. So that's how this is going to go. Damn it. But the Bills move on. Oh, no, shit. They have to play the Ravens. Damn it. Oh, no. I have to watch the Bills and the Ravens play next week? Oh. That's too bad. Oh, wow. The Chiefs and the Texans. I don't care. It does not interest me. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch the whole game. And some dumb shit is going to happen. and it's going to be like 17-20. The Chiefs are down with a minute and a half left. And some dark magic voodoo shit is going to happen. And we're all going to be like, whoa, the Chiefs, whoa, they survive. How do they always do this? But like the allure of that is, I'm not going to say it's completely gone and that it doesn't exist for me anymore, because it absolutely does. I lose my mind every fucking time that happens. Dog, when they won on, who were they playing? It was a Sunday night game or whatever day of the week it was. The doink for the division. Oh, well, it had to have been Sunday night because it was Tirico on the call. I don't remember who they were playing. But yeah, Butker doinked it in to win the division. Or maybe at the time Butker was still hurt and it was their backup kicker, the guy that they signed. I came on here. Whoa, holy shit, the Chiefs. Can you believe it? Yeah. Yeah, I can. So like, okay, they'll get through the Texans. And then, because this is the other piece of it, is how shitty is that going to feel? I'm sorry, Texans fans. I don't mean to, I feel like I've been shitting on you guys, but like, not you guys, but the team, because I don't care. But like, as a non-Texans fan, how shitty is it going to feel if the Chiefs' reign is ended before they get to play the Ravens or the Bills? That's what it feels like. Because at least then the championship game is the AFC championship game is like a game. If the Texans do it and then it's either the Ravens or the Bills versus the Texans, dog, CBS is crossing their fucking fingers. Please, God, do not let this happen. Don't let this happen. It cannot be these two teams. Because whoever it is going to fucking moonwalk over the Texans. Are you shitting me? No. And then it's not even fun for whoever's in the NFC Championship game, which might not be us. I don't know. All we would have to do is win one game to get the conference championship game. And it's either going to be the Commanders, the Rams, or the Vikings. If Tampa Bay wins tonight, then the winner of Monday's game determines who the Lions play. In order of operations, in teams I want to play from most to least most. Well, yeah, no. Okay. I want to play Washington the most. The dynamic quarterback piece of it scares me. The Lions just aren't good against those kind of guys. I don't know. I would want to play the Rams the second most and then the Vikings. I don't want to play the Vikings again. Which you may be like, you just kicked the shit out of them. What's the problem? I just don't think Sam Darnold is going to poop his pants twice. Twice in like a 3-4 week span. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. Although it would be at home. That's true. I don't know. But also, like, do you want to play the Rams right now? Because here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. I think the Rams are trying to do a thing where they're like, we're literally the 2013 Boston Red Sox. When the fucking marathon happened, and then David Ortiz was like, this is our fucking city. And then they kicked ass on their way to the World Series. Big Papi hits the grand slam against the Tigers, and who was it? Was it like Johnny Peralta or Delman Young? Whoever's fucking legs got Looney Tunes thrown up into the air. That fucking police officer with his hands in the air. We all remember it. The Red Sox win the World Series, and it was like, wow, terrorism won the Boston Red Sox a championship. The Rams are trying to do this thing where they're like, yeah, man, like, we're doing this for the city. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. But you want to talk about conspiracies, man. How about the fact that, like, oh, there's high winds in Southern California? Throw a cigarette out the window and it'll fucking burn up $1.5 billion in property value over a 3-day period. And like the insurance companies are just like, well, I guess our rates have to go up. And I guess we suddenly do not have to cover, just like canceling people's policies and shit. I don't know where the conspiracy is. I think a lot of it's kind of over my head. Who was I mad at? The Rams? Yeah, this is one of those instances where as soon as I start to say it out loud, I'm like, you just kind of sound like an asshole. I don't think this is coming off the way that I mean it. Like, stop trying to like martyr yourself. See, that doesn't sound nice because the personal accounts of what the players are dealing with. Cardinals owner sent 3 fucking 787s to pick up the Rams and their family members, like players, personnel, all of it, and their families and their pets. On ESPN, there's a damn graphic like, 283 people in total, and like 6 dogs and 2 cats. 6 dogs and 2 cats for 300 people? That's something seems off there. Nobody has animals. Nobody has any reptiles or nobody. You know what I mean? The number seemed a little bit low to me. Wasn't too sure. What other games were there? Clearly nothing interesting. Clearly nothing. Yeah, it must not have been anything else. copinghoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically. Email available in the description, wherever it is that you listen to this program. Kind of been slacking a little bit on emails recently. I think part of it is because I've just been trying to get back into my own rhythm with the show. And so, just selfishly, I've felt very rusty and like not good at this. So I've just needed to like, brother, just sit down and do the hour, use the emails if you need them. But I've kind of just been trying to work through it. You know, we actually have been getting a ton of Pistons trade emails. You guys want to talk about the Pistons doing some trades real quick? I guess I could sort of just summarize what all of the emails have been about. So the last couple months, what we've been saying on this show, you know, with the Pistons and as far as the trade market is concerned, especially, you know, in recent weeks, don't do it. None of it. Whoever you're thinking about going to get, don't do it. Because the Pistons are building something here where there is like actual continuity and we have actual chemistry. Like, just don't mess with it. Because it's not like we're really trying to do anything this year. We're still trying to, you know, a rebuild is very much a wait and see. We've done the waiting and now we're trying to see. You know what I mean? But like, give it a year. Don't fuck with it though. Like, it's cool. For the most part, what had been communicated to us from management was essentially that, which was, we're going to ride this out. We are in asset acquisition mode. If any capital comes our way, we'll bite. If anybody wants to, you know, if we got to eat some salary, we'll do it. That's what this open space is for. Pistons have kept their options open. They've been very, very responsible financially. Yeah, but then within the last couple of days, there's been some stuff that's coming out that I'm like, what? I'm like, huh? The fuck is this? What's going on? What's Trajan Langdon talking about? The POBO, president of basketball operations for the Detroit Pistons. Talking about like, yeah, I mean, if we see a way to improve the roster, maybe that's a good idea. Brian Windhorst goes on his podcast and he's like, yeah, man, look for the Pistons to be active and do something, while also like wanting to keep cap open for this upcoming offseason. There it is. There it is, Pistons fans. That damn thing we've been hearing like every year for forever. Oh yeah, it's just fucking kicking the can down the road. That GM speak shit is so annoying to me. It's my least. Oh my God. This idea that, like, if you just tell the media and you tell your fans that we're looking to create more flexibility for the upcoming offseason, it just buys you time. That's all that shit, like, almost never materializes. Nothing ever manifests in a way that's, like, meaningful. Oh, we want to have a little bit of money to play around with so we can make a big splash. Shut up. It never happens in Detroit. But it sounds like that might be the direction that they're leaning right now. I wonder 2 things. 1, the Pistons are actually starting to seem like a real NBA team. And I wonder if this is very genuinely Trajan Langdon just being like, okay, we might have something here, but now Jaden Ivey's hurt. And the odds are that he's done for the year unless the Pistons make some significant playoff run, which has been the language on the thing. Fucking don't bring him back. Let him sit out. It's okay. I don't know how guys can just like tear their meniscus and just like come back. Be totally chill. No. He didn't tear his meniscus. He broke his fucking fibula or something. Broke his leg. Whatever it was, dude. It's not the point. But you lose Jaden Ivey, and so now we've seen the consequence of that is Cade just gets doubled because now all the pressure just comes to him. His response to that was putting up the third 15-plus assist triple-double of his career. Yeah. Currently third in the NBA in triple-doubles behind Jokic and LeBron. Cade Cunningham, third in the NBA in triple-doubles as of this taping. Just had a 17-assist triple-double performance the other night against, would have been Toronto. But I'm sidetracking. We don't have Jaden Ivey. The Pistons are winning games. We want to keep this momentum. Maybe it is worth going to get somebody that alleviates pressure off of Cade Cunningham. That would make sense. In a vacuum, that would make sense. The other piece of it, though, that I wonder is we've seen in the past that when Tom Gores, the Detroit Pistons owner, I don't want to say gets impatient, but like sees that the Pistons might have something, even a drop of juice in the tank. He's like, okay, let's fucking do it then. Let's go for it and let's maximize this window before we even know what the window is or like how long it would be open, whatever that even means. The window, whatever it means. As long as he knows that there's one there, he wants to pop, he wants to hit the button and he wants the Pistons to do something. So I just wonder if there's any interior pressure from ownership onto management to communicate this and to facilitate something. And what that something looks like is what a lot of the emails into the show have been about. Again, copinghoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically, email available in the description, wherever it is that you listen to this program. I have no idea. I really don't know. It's such a bizarre, in previous years, this is where I really get in the weeds. But I'm so stumped constructually. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. I'm just stumped like top to bottom with the Pistons right now on like what they need versus what they could actually get. Because that relationship matters here. So like what could they actually get? Well, if you look at the Jazz, you could look at Lauri Markkanen. We've talked a lot about him. You could also look at John Collins, maybe. Because what you need versus what you can get. Do the Pistons need an offensive big right now? Is that what they're looking for? Could they get one? Yeah. Just depends on which one. I think they could get John Collins. I don't think that would be hard at all. But the only way that you would be able to do that is if you parted ways with Isaiah Stewart. And are we the same picture .jpegging at that? Are we the Spider-Man meme? Isaiah Stewart for John Collins? Some of you out there are going to be like, what the fuck? I'd rather have John Collins. I guess. Maybe. It's a shot blocker. That's cool. Lauri Markkanen, also shot blocker. 3-point taker as well. I don't know. It's just like, where else would you look? Because the Zion thing's not going to happen. It's just not. Not Detroit. The Cam Johnson thing, I just think there's going to be a bigger fish, a more championship-ready team that is just willing to shell out more shit from him, like Oklahoma City or something like that. I don't even know if they're going to be that. Who knows? Who knows? But that's the thing with Sam Presti. It's like, okay, you're Detroit. And you're like, we want Case and Wallace. That's what we want. Because Oklahoma City almost has I don't want to say the problem of like, they have too many good players, because that's not a real problem. But like, they can do whatever they want. Sam Presti, between the capital and the players that he has, can literally do whatever he wants. And I don't even want to say like what does Sam Presti even do? Because I don't mean like, what does he do? But like, how do I ask this? Like, how do you trade with Oklahoma City? Because they don't need picks. They don't need them. And then like with how deep that team is, the odds of you giving Oklahoma City a player that's better than the one that you're... Hold on. I'm walking so fast. I'm like speed walking with this take, and I need to like really slow walk because I can't even... Fuck running. So, okay. Let's start with the trade that I have in my head and see what I'm trying to say. The Pistons want Case and Wallace. You can get away with, what, Fontecchio. You can have Fontecchio. I think kind of in the, man, I just don't know with Tech, bro. Because he's been so good. Sometimes, but not mostly this year. That was last year. That Fontecchio was that bitch. And this year, I'm never the effort guy. You will never fucking see me sit up here and be like, I just don't think that guy was trying last night. But the closest that I get with anybody on this team is Simone Fontecchio and Jaylen Duren. And so if you're the Pistons and it's like Simone Fontecchio and stuff for Case and Wallace, why would Oklahoma City take that? They're not getting Tim Hardaway Jr. That does nothing for us. So that's why I'm like, how the fuck do you even get Case and Wallace without it being a lateral move? Like, how do you get a guy like that while still making it meaningful, you know? Because, again, Oklahoma City doesn't need the picks. I just don't think Presti would value those over, like, an actual guy who would... It's just tough. Because that's a defender right there. And that's what Detroit needs. That's a defender, Case and Wallace. Where did his three ball... I don't know if his three ball has come back yet this year. But last year he shot like plus 40%, like 40+%. Would love that on the team. The Pistons have been... The three-point shooting from Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley this season almost single-handedly is like changing the way that Cade Cunningham is perceived. Even against the Raptors, Tim Hardaway with like... What did he finish with? Like with 3.5 to go in the game. He was like 7 of 9. He wasn't missing from 3. 7 of 9. He was not missing. And so it's the roller coaster of Tim Hardaway is so fun. You know, now that I finally get to experience it firsthand. He spent so many years watching him from afar, looking at Tim Hardaway's numbers from afar, being like, damn, that'd be a guy that you would just love to have on your team, right? 37 to like 41% from 3 and can give you like 15 points. Like, man, that's just every NBA team would want that. But then you check in on any of the fan bases that he's ever played for, and they're like, this guy is a fucking terrorist. This guy stinks, and you actually don't want him. Oh, okay. And then you watch him play a game for, like, the Mavs or, like, the Knicks or whoever else, right? You're like, this guy's pretty good. But then you listen to the fans. He stinks. Okay, but then he's on your team. And you're like, no, he fucking rules. And then the week after, you're like, this guy fucking stinks. And then he rules. And then he stinks. And then he rules. And then he stinks. But from all those ebbs and flows, folks, we are in a he's good right now. So that guy for Case Wallace, probably not. I've been chewing on this all day. And it's not that I don't believe it. But I'm just like, shut up. Because if the Heat are going to do the Jimmy thing, then I'm just kind of like, well, how broken up is this band trying to get? Is it just Jimmy? And then, like, let's see what we can get in exchange for him? Because if the whole party's breaking up, what does Tyler Hero go for these days? I wonder. No Jaden Ivey for, like, probably the rest of the year. What if you had Tyler Hero? What if you did that? Because I'm looking at a guy who hits 7 threes a game, like, every other night. Every other night. Just had 35. The day that I'm taping this on, what did that have been? Wednesday night. Had 35, hit 7 threes. That's just, like, what he does this year. And so if you're Miami, is that a guy... By the way, again, I don't think we can say this in the last episode. I don't think we can give out any picks. So don't be expecting Detroit to be shelling out any good draft picks. Don't have those. Because the one that we owe, I think, went to the Knicks. And I think they dealt that in the Cat trade. So the pick went from New York to Minnesota with DiVincenzo. And so if we make the playoffs this year, we don't have a pick. But if we don't, then we get to make a pick. And so then it puts me in a weird position because I'm like, am I going to be a draft guy this year? Last year I wasn't. Last year I was like, this draft class fucking stinks. But this year, this Cooper Flag guy has got me real excited. I'm watching him put up 42 in a College basketball game, 42 points. Cooper Flag. Whoa. Had a dunk from like a step inside the free throw line and didn't dribble. Huh? He's awesome. He's like if Gordon Hayward had like the Wilt gene. He's like if... Oh, come on. Come on, there's a better one in there. Who was the Cephalosha? Does he remind me of him? Nah, come on, Nick. There's a better one in there. I'm not going to get it. But if the Pistons don't have a draft pick, then I'm not going to be a draft guy. I don't think it's going to happen. You know what I did find the other day when I was doing some cleaning? I was trying to find a piece of paper because I wanted to draw a picture. But like no helmet shit. Like I wanted to draw a picture of a shopping list that I wanted to write. And I don't mean like not that I didn't want to write a shopping list. We were going to the grocery store. I didn't want to write a shopping list. I wanted to draw a picture of a shopping list. But I couldn't find a piece of paper. While I was looking for a piece of paper, I found a deck of basketball cards that I don't know what year this is from. Maybe 2019. This is from 2019. And I didn't know if this would be good content or not, but I was like, what if I just go through all of the cards and then just like, I'm like, whoa, remember this? And see if anything interesting happens from it? How does that sound? I'll kill this early if I have to, but I just want to see if this goes anywhere. So the first card that I found was Jimmy Butler wearing a Sixers, and this will be on the screen for those of you who are interested. Jimmy Butler wearing a Sixers jersey, but the Heat logo's in the corner. So this pack came out right after the trade happened, but his most recent photo was with the Sixers. So it's funny how that one turned out. Yeah, at the time, Jimmy had only been in the league for a couple years. Next up, Malcolm Brogdon with the Pacers. Him leaving the Bucks how about Malcolm Brogdon for the Pistons? How about that? A two guard who attracts attention and can score and pass and defend the shit out of the ball and rebound, by the way. Malcolm Brogdon can do everything when he's playing and he's healthy, which is sort of the big contingency of Malcolm Brogdon's whole career is, if ifs were fifths, we'd all be drunk right now. But if Malcolm Brogdon is healthy, I don't hate that. At this point, though, what? Because he was like a 24, 25-year-old rookie. No, he was like 23 or 24. He's got to be fucking 30 by now. Shout out to Malcolm Brogdon. We got Yusuf Nurkic on the Blazers. I don't know if this was pre or post leg snap. Jahlil Okafor on the Pelicans. Jahlil Okafor was the last basketball player to make me cry. Like real shit. When Duke beat Michigan State in the Final Four. Matter of fact, that might have been in New Orleans, that Final Four. I don't remember. But they beat us, and then I think Duke maybe went on to beat Wisconsin, maybe? In the Natty. But Duke beating us in the Final Four. It was Jahlil Okafor. And I think, like, maybe Justice Winslow was on that team. It's going to make me mad. I can't remember the point guard. May have been Tyus Jones, actually. Yeah, that sounds right, timeline-wise. Tyus Jones and Jahlil Okafor. Last time I cried, for sure. Kawhi Leonard in a Raptors jersey, but it has the Clippers logo up in the corner, so that had just happened. I was asleep. Most of us were when the Kawhi shit went down. I woke up to find out. I went to bed. Paul George was a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kawhi Leonard at Toronto. Well, he was a free agent. I wake up. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, both Clippers. Wow. Alex Len for the Atlanta Hawks, birthday twin. I ain't got shit to say about him. CJ McCollum for the Blazers. That's been another guy that people have floated around. Like, what if the Pistons went and got him? That's a vet right there. President of the Players Association? Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, that actually makes a shit ton of sense. And you wouldn't have to, you could just, what happened to the Athletics in Moneyball when Brad Pitt was like, and you're going to stock my vending machines for like a year. I don't want my guys paying for soda. He made Dave Dombrowski do that, the Tigers GM at the time. You could do that type of shit to the Pelicans. Gail Benson would be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Dumbass. Up next, Lonzo Ball in a Lakers uniform, but with the Pelicans. Whoa, Lonzo Ball card. It's crazy that guy was a Laker. That all worked. Rudy Gay for the Spurs. We have a gold card of Jarrett Culver. Talk about Michigan State losing in the Final Four. Jarrett Culver, when he was at Texas Tech, I was convinced was going to be better than DeAndre Hunter. I was like, they're the same player, but Jarrett Culver's better. He was not better. On the back of the card, Minnesota All-Star Karl Anthony Towns needed scoring help. The team took heed and made sure to get him a running mate who fills it up during the 2019 draft in Jarrett Culver. Yikes. How did that one age? Tremont Waters for the Celtics. I don't know who that is. KZ Okpala. Miami Heat. KZ Okpala. Holy smokes. Stanford's finest. KZ Okpala, you talk about like being a draft guy, and you know how I've gone through phases of my life where I'm like, I could name you 45 of the best prospects. I can't do all 60. I give you 45 of them. KZ Okpala had like a month on NBA Twitter where everybody was like obsessed with him. And I still don't really know why this didn't work out in the NBA with him. Especially with the Heat of all teams. Like a guy who's not actually a good basketball player, but then Pat Riley is like, you're a good basketball player. Now he knights him. He's like, da-da-da. Good basketball player. Didn't have it with KZ Okpala. An old Charles Barkley card. Feels kind of random for that to be in there. A shimmery Miles Turner card. DeAndre Ayton. Is this his rookie year? Yeah, it was. No, this was his rookie year that the card. So he had already played 1 year. But yeah, we got a DeAndre Ayton card. Isaiah Roby, USC. Isaiah Roby go to USC. He went to Nebraska. Who the hell am I thinking of? Went to USC. It wasn't Isaiah Roby. Alfonso McKinney. Talk about a guy that I haven't thought about in years. Alfonso McKinney. Him and how long did Brandon Rush play in the NBA? Brandon Rush. Did he have at least 5 years? Brandon Rush. Brandon Clark. Another NBA Twitter draft darling. On the damn back of the card, it's talking about his summer league. He went to Gonzaga? Brandon Clark went to Gonzaga? No. Whoa, what the hell's going on in the Commanders Bucks game? We're going on, it's 9-10 with 10 seconds left. I'm assuming someone just scored. Yeah, I'll go 10-10. Didn't need to do that and completely kill the segment. Brandon Clark went to Gonzaga. That's too bad. Got a nice little Luka Doncic card, Al Horford, and that's it. God damn, that segment was stupid as fuck. copinghoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically. Email available in the description, wherever it is that you listen to this program. Got an email here from Nick. Nick, welcome to the show. Subject line, Jaylen Brown, president of the Players Association. We were just talking about the Players Association. Did you see this? Did you hear about this? Kenny Beecham said in his latest episode of his podcast that he thinks Jaylen Brown would be a good president for the NBA Players Association. Of course, however, he could not possibly do this because he is radioactively dumb. Anyways, just curious to hear your take about this. Sincerely, a fellow Nick. Yeah, for those of you who are familiar, Jaylen Brown in the radioactive dumb tier of the NBA Tower. A coping, what the fuck is it called? The coping tower, an NBA pyramid of dumb. That's what it's called. Jaylen Brown was labeled radioactively dumb. I have since cooled off on all fronts on the war that I've waged against Jaylen Brown's intellect. I'm gonna zag. I think this is an awesome idea. I think this is actually a good idea. No bullshit. I think this is a good idea because I do believe that Jaylen Brown would be a good, yes, ha ha ha, good joke. Glad you thought of me and that you thought of the tower. Haha, Jaylen Brown is dumb. He is. But I do think that he would be a good and thoughtful president of the PA. And I do think that he would have the best interests of the players in mind. I think. But I also think that when you have a guy who's like a loose cannon and you just, I don't know, he may make some wild decisions, but also how much power does he really, I don't know. I think he's smart enough to do a good job. I wonder, though, the people piece of it. I don't know. I'm fucking tired of doing that. I haven't gotten in my Jaylen Brown as an asshole, dumbass bag in a in a while. And it feels weird to be getting back into it. But I do think, because like, what's the term limit? Now, I saw something the other day. I was telling the Shoot Around brothers about this. Speaking of Kenny Beecham, you brought him up. Dog, we're on Disney Plus the other day, just like looking for something on some real casual vibes to watch as a family. I see something. I go to the ESPN tab. I see something. What the fuck? What is this? No way. I say to myself, no way. There's no way. I click on it. What? Numbers on the board. Kenny Beecham, a.k.a. King of the Fourth Quarter, and his boys, their podcast is on fucking Disney Plus? Huh? Look, I knew that they, like, retired their old shit to start this new shit under, like, the ESPN Walt Disney umbrella. But you're telling me that they get that shit streamed on Disney Plus? I said to the fellas at the Shoot Around, what the fuck is this? It's the end of culture because I'm not on there. Why can't the Coping Hour be on there? Why can't I don't like that I said that, by the way. It is not the end of culture because they're all great. And Kenny Beecham especially. There's something to be said about a guy who has done the same shit literally forever. And I don't mean this in a way that it's like, I'm not trying to say like he doesn't innovate, but like he doesn't reinvent the wheel. He just like formulaically does the same shit, but because he knows what he's talking about, I don't know what it is about his content that I find so engaging, but it's always been the same. And I think anytime Kenny comes up, I always say the same shit about him, but I am just so enamored at how successful he is at his own branding and his ability to leverage the knowledge of something that he cares passionately about with like a vocation and a platform. He's the best in this, like, as far as the NBA content creators go. This doesn't, I realize this seems like a pretty lukewarm take, but like the scale of that he does it at is, they're on Disney Plus. And so I was saying to Alex Hoops, I'm like, dog, is this a me thing? Like, are we not getting a call from Disney because of me? I was like, if I need to chill, I'll chill out. I'll stop saying dumb shit just to like, because if Walt Disney is going to, hand us a check, like, for sure. What's next? Kenny's going to do fucking Hot Ones? What the hell? copinghoursubs@gmail.com. Spelled phonetically. Email available in the description, wherever it is that you listen to this program. This one comes into us from H. Subject line. H, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show, brother. How did Chappell Roan not get a Little Caesars commercial? Maybe it was too on the nose, but she had a hit record. The entire competitive advantage of their business model is that the pizzas are, quote, hot to go, unquote. This was a missed opportunity. That is all. Yeah, it's literally the entire email. Well, okay, so the pizzas are hot and ready. HOTTOGO. You can take them because they're ready to go. Or some shit like that. I don't know. For sure. Chappell Roan over the summer, when she was going through one of her like classic just log off meltdowns, also did a thing where she rejected a brand deal from H&M because she was not aligned with their business practices. And all that it boiled down to was the fast fashion shit. Where, like, if you go to a Forever 21 or you go to an H&M or, any of these places, where it's like, wow, I get all these clothes and they feel like such nice quality and it's so cheap. And they're, like, fashionable and, like, you know what I mean? Like, whoa. The quality on them fucking sucks. And the way that they're manufactured is also, like, inhumane and cruel and all this, blah, 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 blah. Blah. I don't... Like, my thing is, I don't have a budget where I get to pick and choose morally where I do and do not buy clothes from. If I am somewhere and they make children make their clothes, but the shirt that I'm trying to buy is $5, but the store across the street makes theirs not with children, but it's $17, I'm taking the $5 shirt. I just am. Sucks, but like I'm just, you know what I mean? And so I do empathize with not taking brand deals because you don't align with, like that's why I'll never do gambling shit, because the way that it's marketed and the way that it's directed at kids and like college kids, like fresh 18-year-olds, and it's predatory, it's gross, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I'll never do that. It's okay to have those morals, but it's the fast fashion shit that always I'm just kind of like, not really a battle I can, you know what I mean? Fast food has kind of always been, or just like eating in general, food in general. It's like most people don't eat that well because it can be pretty expensive to eat healthy. Or like even if you want non-alcoholic shit, this transcends fucking ad reads and food. What is nearest and dearest to us as adults, alcohol. If you're like, I need to cut back on alcohol, I need to chill out. Let me get some non-alcoholic beers or like some fucking seltzers or, some cocktails. Mocktails. Dog, you're going to be spending $15 on a 4-pack. If I'm spending $15, I could get 12 beers. Real adult American beers. 15 of them. Well, 12 of them for $15. Or I can get 4 mocktails for $15. What the fuck is this? Non-alcoholic shit is for rich people. And so when Tom Holland comes out here and he's like, oh, we made a non-alcoholic. Wait, I need to figure out the accent here. Hold on, let me move away from the mic for a second. We made. I keep doing I start English and then I go into Southern. He makes an alcoholic beer and I'm like, okay, but if it's expensive as fuck, then like, you know what I mean? Chappell Roan. Yeah, that was probably a missed opportunity with Little Caesars. That probably would have been pretty funny. Although there would have been a lot to say about with like her fan base and her fucking stans. If she has the biggest summer that like a pop star could have possibly had. 2024 was the year of the pop girly. Seriously. Between like her and Charlie and Sabrina and Taylor, the Eras Tour was still going on. It's not, now it's over. I feel like there's maybe another one. You throw Gracie Abrams in there. That I don't think she counts, but it was the year of the pop girly for sure. How would it have rubbed people if her stand specifically, if she just popped up and was doing like corpo shit? And it was like, actually, I do drag in Little Caesars commercials now, which is not very anti-establishment, doing Little Caesars commercials in drag, if you ask me. It is not very cool. I probably wouldn't have cared. I probably would have just observed her fucking subreddits are crazy, bro. And I do give her some credit. I said that she was going through one of her like classic you need to log off like meltdowns. She hasn't had one of those in a while. So maybe she like hired some representation, some like managers for her fucking socials, and they were like, just log off. Like seriously, just chill out, because you always make it worse for yourself. And you always try to like over explain shit using like fucking Twitter speak, using like Twitter therapy speak. Like, shut up, please. Just stop talking on the internet. She's kind of been... People really didn't care for the duet that she did with Sabrina, and she did the damn... Sabrina Carpenter had that holiday special that came out on Netflix. And I never got around to watching it because I was just like, I don't give a shit enough about like a bunch of Christmas songs to like... And then I found out that the Chappell Roan thing was in there. I was like, okay. So I went to skim through it, and it was fucking took too long to get there, and I didn't care. So then I found a clip of it on Reddit, and I was like, okay, let me watch. It seemed like they were like, did not harmonize well, I didn't think. It's fine. It's cool to see them together, I guess. But like, meh. Chappell Roan. Otherwise, no notes. Great. VMA's performance last year was like one of the best live performances I've seen in I don't know how long. She rocked. Good luck, babe. And, by the way, Chappell Roan, if you guys remember, we did the Spotify Wrapped for like you guys at home based on the data that you sent me, and I just like compiled it and boop, 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 boop. The most listened to song by the Copenhagen constituency in 2024 was Good Luck Babe, and it was not close. I remember the first time I heard it, and it was like, the first like 5 seconds, you kind of clock it as like one of those like, oh, someone's trying to do the 80s thing, like, wow. And then, whoa, song just like grabs you by the throat. Oh my God. Whoa. I haven't had any commentary on this show about the Leangelo song. The same way that I had zero to say about the ratings. Brother, we went like 3 weeks. All people wanted to do was talk about the ratings. Honestly, it was like all of December. That's like what people wanted to talk about was NBA ratings. How many times did we talk about the ratings on this show? Zero, zilch, nada. Not a fucking word about the NBA ratings. You know why? Because that's loser shit. Who cares? Who cares? Oh, you are mad that people are talking about the ratings because you watch the NBA? Cool. Cool. So you know why you like the product then. Oh, you're mad that people like the NBA, but you think it's dumb and you like to use the ratings as an indication that most people agree with you? Cool. Wow. Profound. Spotify listeners. What do I got for you guys? I'm not sure. I don't know. And if I keep thinking about it, then it's gonna. I'm sorry. I've been off to a bad 2025 with you guys just asking you questions. But this is what I was mentioning earlier about not doing that many emails. I've just been in such a weird headspace since we came back from our little winter break. I've just been in a weird headspace. I don't know if it's been good, and I don't know if it's been bad. Some days it leans one way, and some the other. It's just been. I don't know, man. Part of me wonders if I'm due for one of those episodes where I just explode. I completely blow up. Or maybe I'll just do that off camera and maybe, I don't know, I'll be fine. I don't know. If you're listening to this on Spotify, be sure to rate 5 stars. Sorry, I don't have a question for you guys this week. I feel like I'm really murdering the end of this. Cheer up, Nick. It's okay. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, you can leave 5 stars and you can leave a review. Watching this on YouTube, be sure to leave a like, subscribe. Nice little comment for the algorithm. Make sure to keep primary control in check. And I will catch you guys in the next one.